Well, I mean, the solution to partisanship is leadership, and it really is, frankly, it's up to you all. It's up to the American people to elect leaders who are not primarily interested in their own reelection campaigns. So that requires an informed, engaged, enlightened citizenry, and it requires every person in the country to take that responsibility seriously. And, and I think the other thing that works is relationship, okay? So when you go back and look at the past 20, 30 years, is the times when there's been a breakthrough on a policy level, it's because usually the president took initiative to reach out from the position of power and brought other people in. And a good example is President Reagan brought in House Speaker Tip O'Neill in the 1980s, and they did a landmark tax reform bill. Okay, and so tax reform doesn't just mean lowering tax rates, it means getting rid of tons of junk in the tax code that helps special interest groups, corporations, and get rid of that spending in the code and use it to lower rates for middle-class families, okay? So that's one example. And Bill Clinton, okay, for all of Bill Clinton's difficulties in his administration, and Newt Gingrich, talk about two polar opposites, they found a way to work together on welfare reform legislation. Okay, that was a landmark agreement. And this is so, like when you think about why do our soldiers serve overseas? You know, why did our World War II heroes step out of a landing craft into gunfire? They did it to give us the chance to have this conversation, to resolve our differences peacefully, and that's a responsibility that we take very, very seriously, and our bosses do. And the good news is there are a lot of people in Washington who think that way. But what happens is the media and the parties elevate the very limited group on each side that just screams the loudest, okay? You know, we're not throwing chairs at each other up here. But that's the kind of conversation that is elevated. So it's really up to you all to do that correction and to lift up the people who are trying to get things done.